Alright, I want to talk to everybody about the Halloween blue full moon that's coming in. Oh, this is going to be some powerful energy. And as always, we are going to harness it to make a long and lasting change in our lives and in our reality. So first, I'm going to start off by just giving you some information about this moon, what exactly it means, what it represents, and why this is the perfect time for everybody to participate in this group ritual. First of all, anytime there's a full moon, that's literally the climax of the lunar cycle. A full moon occurs whenever the moon and the sun are in direct opposition. So during this time, you actually have the maximum illumination in the night sky, which electrifies the moon's radiance. The full moon shines light on everything. So many important discoveries are typically made under this energy. Now, while that is true, the other thing that's true as well is that people have a lot of mental issues that go on. That's where the word lunatic, lunacy came from, was your full moon energy. Some people, it just messes them up when that kind of energy comes in. Now, what's so special about this moon is that it's not the first moon of the month. It's the second moon. October actually started with a full moon and is ending with a full moon. So October 1st, we had a full moon. October 31st, we have another full moon. And this is a full hunter's moon that's coming in. So you're talking about some warring energy. You're talking about a whole lot of energy is coming in Aries. And Aries is actually ruled by the planet Mars. So that Martian energy is a warring, fighting energy, and is actually associated with the element fire. So you're talking about something that's extremely powerful that's coming onto this planet. This energy is very, very powerful. It's happening on Halloween night. Halloween is when the veil is thin between the dimensions, between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. And the ancients believed that at this time that spirits could come in, and if they had some issues with you, all hell would break loose because they were able to take vengeance on you. That's the reason why they started wearing masks and dressing themselves up in parties and costumes so that they blended in with the spirits that were walking the earth on that night. So again, you're talking about some vengeful spirits that's coming in here. Anytime you look at the sign of Aries, energy basically is a very brave and courageous type spirit. Now this moon is known as a full hunter's moon. So you're talking about brave warriors, spirit warriors that are coming back onto the planet at this time. Now when this moon appears, it's actually coming in Aries, but then it's leaving out on Taurus. Taurus is that earth element. That's the grounding energy. That's stability, security. So whenever something is in Taurus, we know it's going to be long lasting. Because if you deal with anybody that's born under that sign, these types of people do not change. What you see is what you get. They're stubborn and they're hard-headed. So the energy is coming in Aries, which is bold, courageous, and full of change, not afraid of a challenge and won't back down. And it's leaving, it's going to exit in Taurus, which again is going to leave a long-lasting change. So during this time, whatever we put forth at this time, especially if we're working in connection with these ancestral energies, is going to make a radical change in our lives. It's going to last for a very long time. Now, when you're talking about doing any ritual type work under Aries full moon, this is a wonderful time for you to make new friends, for you to advance your social situation, for you to actually develop some type of a passion or romance, to work on music, ritual, to rise to a challenge, something that you may have been wanting to do for quite some time and just haven't been able to do it. This will be the time to ride that energy that's coming in and do it and make it stay put. When you're talking about Taurus, because it's leaving in Taurus, where then you're talking about your money, your time, your energy, investment, serenity. So again, you're talking about a very powerful change that can take place, that will take place in your life as long as you're working with the ancestral energy. The people who are not working with the ancestral energies and who are fighting against the ancestral energies, they're going to have a change too. but it's going to be a bad change. And the change that they get is going to last for quite some time. So you want to make sure that you're working with this energy and not against it. And that's the reason why we're doing our ancestral petitions. And this year, 2020, as you have seen, has been nothing but radical change and conflict. So this blue moon is coming in, marries up with 2020 all the way through this year. Radical change, conflict, things that have just basically set people on a totally different socioeconomic status than they were when the year first came in. That's exactly what I'm seeing here with this lunar energy. Now, with all of that being said, I know you're probably wondering, well, how can I participate in this ritual? I'm going to put a link in the description box below. It's very simple. You're going to click that link, fill out the form, and you must sow a monetary seed. I don't care if it's $5, it could be $100, whatever you can afford. You got to put some money in on this. The reason why is because anytime that you're using spiritual energy in order to advance yourself, you must pay the spirits. So what we're doing on your behalf is we're actually buying the things for the spirit energies, for the forces we're working with in order to get the stuff to you. So the candles we're purchasing, the food offerings we're doing, the decorations, everything will be financed based on the money that's coming in. And so you're literally planting a seed. And then after that, once you plant your seed by filling out that form, you're going to automatically go into an instructional video. You need to watch the video and follow the directions because you have something you have to do too on Halloween night. So we're all working together with the same energies. Now, I had a question that came to me earlier today, and I want to go over this question with you all because this is a question that I get very often from a lot of star seeds. And so I know that it's something that we definitely want to discuss. And the question read, I'm having a hard time with the ancestral thinking. If you had parents that you did not get along with and you felt that you had bad treatment from them, but you still love them, but you still feel hurt, it is very hard to say, I'm going to forgive them, and I don't remember and feel what they did. And now I'm supposed to elevate them and call on them for help when I only had me to depend on when they were alive. It's very hard. What is an ancestral really? And what is the personality that they change when they are on earth? Okay, this is an excellent question. And again, I get this question all the time from star seeds. You have three races of man on this planet. You have mankind, human, and God-man. Tonight, I'm only focusing on human and God-man right now. When I say God-man are basically what we call star seeds, meaning that your soul came from another planet and you incarnated on earth through a bloodline. Oftentimes when this happens, the person that you incarnated through, you have a different energetic frequency than the person that birthed you. So even though the human that you incarnated through, they don't realize that you're a divine being. This was depicted in the Bible with the story of Christ. How he came through Mary, but he was really the Son of God. And he told you that he was the first among many brethren. That's what he was talking about. Right now, you have a lot of Christ seed who reincarnated right now. Same story you see in Superman. How he came from another planet and he was raised by human parents. Okay, same deal. Well, typically what happens in these types of situations is the humans, for some reason, are disconnected from that star seed. So very often they do very little supporting of you. They're very mean towards you because they just don't feel attached to you. They don't know why, but they know deep down something's not quite right between you and that parent. This is very common. So when you're talking about ancestral worship, which is what a lot of your indigenous tribes did prior to colonization, at that time, those were humans actually honoring their own human lineage. Well, today, like I said, you got gods and goddesses or star seeds that are coming back and reincarnating among man. When you're doing your ancestral worship, what you do, and this is how I do mine, you want to tap into your divine bloodline. You want to know who you really are and where you came from. Typically, this is going to be revealed to you during some type of a cosmic initiation, where your people are going to let you know who you are. They're going to let you know that you're special, that this is not your home. Your home is somewhere else, and that's who you're actually conjuring. That's who you're actually honoring. That's who you're actually working with. Because if you're trying to work with human bloodlines who are not really your bloodlines, and you have friction when these people walk the earth, just because somebody passes away does not mean that all the hurt and the pain disappears. Because literally all they did was just transition to another form of being. But those same spirits and emotions and energy is still there. So I do not recommend putting parents, family members who abused you, who hurt you, who mistreated you on your altar. Because your altar functions as a gateway for their energy to get into your home and to get back into your life. You don't want that. If they didn't do anything but hurt you when they live, they're going to have more power in the spirit realm, and they're really going to hurt you from the other side. So what you want to do is, again, tap into your cosmic family. Or if you do have a family member that once lived that you were close to, like a distant aunt or a grandfather or a grandmother, somebody that you were close to, then that's fine to put them on your altar. But if you don't, then you're going to want to work with those higher beings from the higher dimensions. And trust me, working with them, they're going to do a whole lot more for you than a human relative could ever do, because they're from higher dimensions. They have more power. So they're able to get a lot more work done than a regular old human ancestor. So I hope that answers your question, because she said, what are ancestrals really? Ancestors are basically people or spirits that you incarnate through, that you came through. If you're a human, it's your direct bloodline. But if you're a God seed, which I'm almost 100% sure based on her treatment she probably is, she needs to be going into her divine lineage. And that's the beings that I would be honoring when it's time to do ancestral worship. Not the ones that were here on the planet that had friction with her when they actually lived. Because like I said, if they didn't do anything for you when they were alive, they're definitely not want to do anything for you now. So if you go conjuring them up for Halloween and doing an ancestral petition, and you know that these people didn't like you when they lived, they're not going to do anything for you now that they're gone. But the beauty of participating in a group ritual, especially with people who are starseed and who are connected to their divine bloodlines and they know who they are, is that those gifts and abilities and blessings and everything will be honored, because you're putting all of your energy together in a collective group. So it makes things a lot more powerful versus you just doing this thing on your own. So if it's something that you've been wanting for quite some time, a situation you've been dealing with, or you just want some spiritual protection, some healing, this is the ritual you're definitely going to want to do. Or blue moon on Halloween night only happens once every 19 years. So you're talking about 2 decades before this happens again. And then a blue moon by itself typically comes every 2 to 3 years on the calendar. So it's a very special night. 2020 has been a very special year. And I remember when the year first started, and I told everybody that you got 2 2s and 2 zeros. And anytime a number is followed by a 0, it amplifies the energy. 2 deals with conflict, duality. So I already knew 2020 was going to be full of conflict, and it has been from the beginning to the end. Nothing but conflict. So on Halloween night, blue moon coming in, ancestral energies coming in, spirit forces are back, you got God seeds on the planet. You're talking about a wonderful, magical night that you don't want to miss. Definitely. Again, click that link in the description box below so you can participate and have your needs and your desires fulfilled.
My mother had it. My mother's mother had it. They both had the gift. They always said I had it, but I never did. I never had it. You know, they told me what it was like. They told me all about it, but...
Are you two all right?
Sam?
Molly?
I can hear you.
I'll miss you. Your mother'd be proud.
I'm gonna miss you too, Sam. You're all right.
Bye, Autumn May.